Good afternoon, everybody. Hey, welcome to the channel, man. I got a special episode for everybody that I just wanted to share, man. Don't have a lot to do with Blue Line, but I mean, it helped me out in my career. Let me get situated here. Well, I went to the Ivan Koloff Pro Wrestling School, man, back in 1996, maybe. And I wrestled for about 20 years, maybe. First day jitters, I went in. This is where they test you. They work you over, put holds on you, throw you down, make you run the ropes. The biggest trick to being a pro wrestler was learning how to fall straight back and catching yourself, learning how to flip fall, learning how to side fall. Then you get into the tie-ups and all that. But the first day was to see what you were made of, to see if you can come back. So when I went back the next day, he was really surprised, because what they do, they try to weed out those that aren't serious. But back then, at that time, it's a lot different these days. At that time, there was a lot of shoot wrestling. I mean, it was real, okay? You had a lot of real stuff. The guys were tough, okay? They were real tough. And if you didn't make the list, you just didn't make it. But if you made it, they talked for you and they got you matches, okay? When I went in, he had 2 rings, and they were 18 by 18, okay? The ring's not a trampoline like people normally think, okay? The ring is set up on truss beams, and the floor is made up of 2 by 8s that stack across. Truss beams. In the middle has a spring jack, just enough to kind of spring a little bit when you get slammed or fall. So I wanted to get that out of the way. And the mat is real thin, laying over them 2 by 8s. Okay. I was able to make it. You know, you got a curriculum you got to pass. You got to pass and knowing all those moves, everything you've been taught. Then again, the old style pro wrestling. We didn't do somersaults off the ring corner, you know. And I had a few classmates: Chief Red Thunder, William Locklear, Scotty Dees from Maxton. He was Watchee. I don't know if Ethan Storm went to Koloff School. But, you know, when you went there, you worked. And you worked for your certification, for your diploma certificate, to be a successful wrestler where you can go work shows. The first organization I went to and was able to get on TV and shine a little bit was a promotion called American Championship Wrestling. Good organization, head up by a man named Mitch Gow. You could not help to like him, man. He was so funny. I mean, that man knew how to do a show, you know. And I wrestled with them for a while, then started having hernia problems and problems with my shoulder, and I just kind of bailed out for a little bit so I could let myself heal. But he was a good guy, man. I mean, he can do shows. And I had the gimmick Blazing Brian, which, you know, here's my outfit here. I still put it on every once in a while, but Blazing Brian, of course, I have my black boots and all of that. Then, you know, much later, I would do Mr. Olympia with the red mask. And then some I would do the Iceman with the white mask. So, mainly jobbing, being a jobber. I would go in and wrestle the star and make him look like $1,000,000, get thrown around, tossed around, and all that stuff. But to me, I didn't care whether I won or lost. It just gave me the idea of having that closeness of wrestling and being thrown around. So when I'm working my day job, when I'm on the street, it didn't bother me to have to really fight somebody, and you know, in real life. But it was good, man. And you know, and Mitch, baby, he was something else. he one night, Mitch liked to. He had his outfits made up like Elvis, They had the big collar on them and they had the studs and rhinestones and all that on them. And he's walking through the dressing room, trying to get things in order, and everybody just, making smirks and remarks and all that, And the way he talked, it was so funny. He had a high pitch, boy. If people kept doing that, boy, and he got mad. He got mad. And the star that we had that night was Jimmy Garvin from the Fabulous Freebirds. That's usually what independent promotions do. They'll bring in a big star, to have them work the main event. That's what brings your crowd in, is that big star. But anyway, everybody got a snicker. He said, the next son of a bitch says something about Elvis is fired. Jimmy Garvin walked in and tapped him on the shoulder and said, what's up, Dave? He said, you're fired. But, that's fun times. And, I got a chance to meet some of the major stars, man. At that time, NWA, Jim Crockett Promotions, was going out of business, and they were bought by Ted Turner, and turning into WCW, and guys like me and some of the other guys knew there was going to be contracts, So some of the stars that I have met, would be Greg the Hammer Valentine, the Barbarian. Oh man, that's a big joker, son. You see, the Barbarian, hey, and Greg Valentine big too, buddy. Pistol Pez Watley, Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man, and of course Ivan Koloff and Nikita, Jimmy Garvin. These are the guys that kind of knew that they weren't going to get a contract at WCW. Bobby Eaton, Bobby Fulton, the Fantastics, Johnny Weaver. And I was good friends, man, with the Hardy Boys. Right before they made it, I used to go work out with them. Some of the nicest guys you ever want to meet, man, the Hardy Boys. Big Van Vader. Who else? There was a host of them, man. Of course, George South, Italian Stallion, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Arn Anderson was able to go to WCW. Met Ole for a little bit. Ole was something else, man. Let's see. Bill Addy, who's a mass superstar and was with Demolition. Good guys. But, was able to work matches, and the travel, man, the travel was beyond belief. A lot of people wouldn't realize the travel, and the booking. If you got a show, make sure you made your booking, make sure you done your match, and learning everything about the business. And the referee's a big part of the show, especially if it was a televised event going to be on TV. The referee let you know when to take it home, and he's all the time giving you cues, so you didn't go over that 10-minute time limit because it's allotted for TV. So, but if you're doing a house show, the match can go, longer than that. But, Mitch would put a stipulation on it. Go do your match, entertain your people, man, and go for the 1, 2, 3, especially if it was televised. But, make your booking. Back then, if you had a show, I was able to work a show with Matt and Jeff with their independent promotion they had. I think it was New Frontier Wrestling, something or other. It was up in Vast toward Pinehurst, up that way. So, and I live right here in North Carolina, so I'm about an hour away from where they live at. But I mean, they're good guys, and I enjoyed it while I was doing it. But to be able to do it as a living, man, like me, I'm sitting here, well, I wrestle maybe 3-4 times a month when I was doing it. You're not really a wrestler. Till you wrestle every night of the week, then you consider it a wrestler. You know what I mean? It's different. But it's changed over the years now, and people doing high-risk moves and somersaults, and, a lot of times back in the day, you jump in the ring, for entertainment purposes. The referee might look at you and say, it's a shoot. That means it's real. You start out fighting for real, then you kind of slow it down, you get the crowd into it. And, the way the business works, you know, a lot of times I would take the first or second match, kind of get the crowd going, and you got to know what moves everybody else is going to do through the night. Okay, it don't do me no good to go the first match and do a move that's Red Thunder's move. You know, if I'm working the arm, I'm working the arm. You know, I go in, get the crowd warmed up, and do my 1, 2, 3, and get out of there. Nothing spectacular, nothing overboard, because the next man has got to follow that. The next match has got to follow that. If Red Thunder's in the main event, why would I go do 100 moves in my match? You build it. That's how you do. You build it. That's how the business works. You build it. Do your first match, second match. You might do a tag team match. Just keep it even scale. Don't be trying to. Sometimes less is best. And I've heard a lot of veterans tell me that. Less is best. Don't go in there and try to do 100 moves in the first 5 minutes. That don't work. Less is best. You got to build it to. That way, when the main event gets there, boom, people's ready for it. People standing up. They're not sitting down anymore. They're ready to see that during the first match. So you do that. But you know, guys that want to wrestle, man, and get into the business, and you know, you getting your equipment. You know, you want to go to highspots.com. They got your boots, they got your tights, they got your masks, everything. They got your robes. Back in the day, a real tough guy, Exotic 8th Street. Now that man, he could get you moves and make you poop yourself. But he done my robe and my white mask. But the red mask came from High Spots. You get all your tights there and the boots and everything, man. But I had fun while I was doing it, man. You know, I might go do a guest spot every once in a while, but something short and sweet, because you know I've had some health issues. But hey, I really loved it, man. So if you like what you're seeing here, hit like and subscribe, man. I have some more stories for the Behind the Blue Line retired and all that. But you know, keep in mind, those guys are athletes. Don't try none of that stuff at home. You need to be properly trained at a school by a good qualified instructor, man. So hey, y'all have a good one, man. It's a beautiful day, and try to be a better person each day goes by. Have a good one.